So what is going on, guys, and welcome back. So today is that day. It is my end of season review where I'm going to go look through all your questions. I'm going to talk about West Ham season with the highs and the lows. I'm just going to go through everything basically, through the beginning until the end. To start off with, it has been a very roller coaster of a season. We started off the season so poorly. We didn't win for such a long time. Our first win actually came against a home win against Huddersfield. It was absolutely brilliant at the point. We comfortably beat them, and it was nice to see that we had a bit of momentum going again. And obviously after this, we didn't really do well again. We were in the relegation zone for a long while. We lost after the 4-1 loss to Liverpool. Slaven Bilic lost his job not long after that game. Then obviously we appointed David Moyes, who was brought in to do a job and keep us up. And to be fair to David Moyes, he did do that. Obviously there's so many more problems to address with the ground, with the owners, but we'll get into that in a bit. My phone has just gone off. Wow, okay, I didn't actually think I'd get this while filming. David Moyes has left West Ham United while I'm filming. I mean, this is just awkward now, isn't it? Like, I was just gonna sort of talk about David Moyes and whether he should stay or not, but looks like he's not going to stay now. I mean, looking at this instantly, I'm quite shocked at the same time, actually. I would have thought the owners would have kept David Moyes. I'm really, taken this by a bit of shock, really. But then again, the problem with David Moyes is I just don't like his negativity in the football. I don't like his style of play, and I feel he kind of, at times, unbalances the dressing room a little bit. So maybe it actually is for best to not bring him in, and there's other options we could consider when looking for a new manager. Anyways, you guys, let's get onto your questions now. Bam. So we got this one. At David Mason 800 says, David Moyes, stay or go. Well, this is a fun one. Now, before the news came out, obviously, I actually wouldn't want to keep David Moyes. I think the owners have done the right thing getting rid of him. I didn't want David Moyes personally because I didn't like his negativity in the dressing room. He seemed to have unbalanced it quite a lot. I didn't like the fact that he didn't take any cup competition seriously either. Like, for instance, when we went to Wigan this season away, we lost 2-0 and there was no urgency to go out and try and win the game. Or even the League Cup against Arsenal. I thought by far we were the better team than Arsenal. Arsenal had one scrappy goal and scored, whereas if we put a full squad out, I actually think we could have got to the semi-final at least for that competition, or maybe got to the final and competed to win it. Yeah, for me, I would have got rid of him, and I think it's the right decision to let him go. Owen Lawrence, who's your favourite player? Without a doubt, it's got to be Mark Noble. When I was a young boy, I remember when he was coming on, he was only a young lad, about 17, 18, he was coming on for West Ham, and I remember sitting there, and I can't remember what happened. I think he might have scored. I can't remember who we were playing against at the point, but I remember people just taking the mickey out of me that David Moyes has left and we're a failure as a football club. I have great friends, guys. As I was saying though, so when I was a young kid, I used to watch Mark Noble play, and I remember, even as a toddler, I said to my dad, I love that player, I want him, and my dad sort of just went to me, but he's a new player, like, you've got so many other good players out there, but why are you choosing him to be your favourite? I just said to him, I don't know, I just really like him. And from there on, Mark Noble has consistently stayed into the West Ham United side through the years. It's not the fact that he's been an outstanding world-class player for us, because let's be honest, he's not been at that stupidly high standard compared to the likes of Payet, Tevez. But what we can say is that he's always stayed at West Ham. His heart is West Ham. He supports West Ham. He was a season ticket holder before he even joined the actual football club itself. He's one of those players that you could see that if we're at a football game and we're supporting West Ham, he'd be in the stand chanting the chants with us to get behind the team. Like, he's just one of those type of players, and I think when we got relegated as well, he chose to stay at West Ham even though he could have gone to another Premiership squad. Like, it's players like that that make West Ham. Obviously, he's not been the same player he was a few years ago. He's getting older, and it's going to happen to the best of us. Even after his career's done, I would like to see him as a coach at the club or some sort of job working there, because I just think he's been such a big part of the club for the past 10 years, and I just think it'd be fair if he was offered a job at West Ham United. WHUFC_JJ45, I like this guy. With all the speculations surrounding managers, what realistic manager would you like to get in and why? Now this is a fantastic question. Now this is quite a hard one. Now originally I would have gone for Manuel Pellegrini. I really like him. He did so well at Manchester City, but it doesn't look like we're going to get him now. We're in talks with Rafa Benitez. I actually heard a little rumour that we're looking at Eddie Howe as well, but you know, it's a hard one. I actually like the look of Shakhtar Donetsk's manager, Paulo Fonseca, I think is how you say it. He looks like a really good manager. He looks like a big option. Or maybe someone like Rafa Benitez. I think he'd be good for West Ham, but we just need someone who's going to take the club forward. Maybe, you know, who's going to go out there and start pressing the ball and say, we need money, we need to buy players. But I think the bigger question is going to be, JJ45, is a manager going to want to come to West Ham United with our current owners and the state that our club is in? That is the big question. And because of this, can we attract the bigger managers? Because for me, I don't think we can do that at all. Unless we're seriously willing to invest and be ambitious, I don't see us getting a big manager. Oh my god, this guy. Do you want sauce on your balls? Asks. Now this guy, I mean, let's just make this clear before I read the comment. This guy, since the beginning of this channel, since I started making it, he's been one of the first commenters and he still comments in every single one of my videos. I think he's so funny because the first time I read his comment, I was just cracking up because of his username. Do you want sauce on your balls? I just thought it was just like, brilliant. He says, hi Liam mate, would love a mention in your end of season review. Been with you almost from the start, simply because of your great vlogs and the passion you have for your club. Now what I would like to know is, do you think the Banana Skins brought a bit of bad luck to the team? I mean, since you haven't been filming them, we haven't picked up some really crucial points. Oh dear. Yes I do, as a matter of fact. It's really weird, like, the way those Banana Skins came about was, I think it was like 2016-17 Premier League season, we were walking along and it was before the Middlesbrough game, before we beat them away 3-1. I'd actually previously seen them and I'd gone up to them for a laugh and put them on the vlog just because I thought it was funny. And then we went to the Borough game and I started for a laugh. I think I started to praise them or something. I don't know if I did it on or off camera. I started doing it for a laugh. And after I did that, we actually went on a run of wins and we started to get in really good form again, like we saw from the previous season. And it was just fantastic that we could do that. And then I think it was the Swansea game. We lost 5 games on the trot and we had the Swansea game coming up. And we needed to win that so we'd get over 40 points. And I actually ate a banana in the video itself, put the banana skin on top of the fence, walked to the game, we won 1-0. Absolute scenes. And I was told from there on just to always go up to them. However, when I start doing it this season, when I don't go there, we usually win. But when I do go there, we started losing, getting into a really bad run of form. So I sort of backed off of the banana skins. But for sure, next season, the first game, I'm going to go up to the banana skin alley, I'm going to eat a banana and I'm going to put it on the fence. And we're going to pray those banana skin gods, or whoever, what magical beings have put it there. Whoops. And whatever magical beings have put it there will give us luck going into our games of the season. Daniel asks, what players would you like to see at West Ham United next season? For me, I would like to see positions of centre-backs being brought in and maybe a new midfielder and a defensive midfielder. I think going forward, West Ham United are fine because we've got the likes of Lanzini, Arnautovic, Hernandez, praying he stays. If I feel like we need a centre-back, we've already been linked with Chris Smalling recently in the press from what I've seen. I'm not sure if that's how strong that rumour is at this moment when the videos come out. We have also been linked up previously with William Carvalho, which I think would be a perfect fit to the squad. The problem is when we have players like Winston Reid getting injured and obviously James Collins leaving the club, we're going to have some gaps in our squad. So I really do think we need to invest wisely when it comes to a centre-back and a midfielder. I think if we can fill those positions up, there's no reason we can't go forward. I would actually like to, I think more importantly, we need a right-back, someone that can defend well and not be afraid to go forward. But for me, I'd love to see the likes of Chris Smalling at West Ham. That is a big ask, I know, and or William Carvalho. A player I would like to see as well, and this is dream. This is going wild, like beyond my dreams. Ryan Sessegnon from Fulham. When I went there to watch Fulham in the playoffs the other night, Ryan Sessegnon was outstanding. I honestly think that he is not a championship player, he's a premiership boy and he's got a bright future ahead of him. I would love a player like him at West Ham. I think he'd always get first team football as well. Kai and Dan asks, best player this season? For me, it's so easy to say this, it's been Marko Arnautovic. When Marko Arnautovic first joined West Ham United, Oh my god, I absolutely slaughtered him. I thought he was so poor. He was being really lazy, he wasn't running, he was just standing still. When Slav got sacked, obviously, Moyes came in and it just changed him as a player. Like, he just came out as a different type of player and he was just outstanding. Like, for me, I think he was one of the most informed players in the Premier League at that point, along with Wilfried Zaha from Crystal Palace. Like, he was just outstanding, and I think he was a massive reason we stayed in the league this season. Victoria Austin asks, what was your favourite moment of the season? For me, my favourite moment of the season was beating Spurs away in a 3-2 win in the League Cup. Honestly, that's probably one of the best, I think it is the best away game I've ever been to. Toby Garrett asks, we were amazing last night, so glad we got the point. The question I want to ask is, will Joe Hart stay and will Jack Butland come to our club? To be honest with you, no, I don't think Joe Hart will stay at West Ham. I don't think we'll be offering him any contract to stay. I just don't think he's been good enough for us this season. He's not made the England squad, which is going to damage his confidence as it is. I do really feel for him because, you know, for what player he used to be, winning league titles and doing so well at Manchester City to now struggling to get into West Ham United's side, is quite sad to see. For me, I don't think we'll go for Jack Butland just purely because of the fact I don't think our owners are willing to spend. I don't think they are going to go out there and give him the wages Jack Butland would want. Not just that either, I think Jack Butland, I think Arsenal and Liverpool are currently looking at him because they're going to need a new keeper, because obviously Liverpool aren't too much of a fan of Mignolet, they're not too sure about Karius. Arsenal want to look like they're going to want to replace Petr Cech. So, no, I don't think we're going to get Jack Butland. Fat Bloke Running asks, which Premiership team makes visiting fans feel most welcome? Hands down, I've got to say, in all the years I've been going football, I've got to say Liverpool. Even when I've been, one of my first times at Liverpool when I was like a toddler, we'd get a drink, me, my mum and dad, or whoever I'm with, we'd get a drink, stand there, start drinking, and within about 5-10 minutes you'd have a Liverpool fan coming over and start chatting to you. Or a group of them start chatting to you. Like, honestly, they are some of the most friendliest fans out there, I'd say. Honestly, every time I go, they feel so well. Even online, when I upload my videos on Liverpool, my videos always do so well against Liverpool, and their fans are absolutely fantastic to me. Whether we get a draw, whether we beat them or lose, they're always friendly and nice. So I've got a lot of respect to Liverpool fans, and yeah, for me, they're my favourite. Anyways guys, that is all the questions I'm going to answer for this video. Thank you so much for all the questions. Again, there were so many to pick from. I've obviously replied to every one of you who had left me a question. I didn't just leave you blank, I did reply to every one of you specifically, just because of the fact I still feel bad if we can't get all your questions into a video. But thank you all so much for sending me comments, I so appreciate this. Overall, you guys, I'm not very happy with how this season went. It's so good that we were able to finish this season on a high, but I feel that this kind of papers over the cracks a little bit. If we don't invest in the summer, if we don't go out and get a good manager in, if we don't go out and get good players in, don't address any of the problems at the Olympic Stadium, I honestly do believe that West Ham United will get relegated next season. That is my honest prediction. If our owners do not spend in this summer, I do worry for the state of our football club. I just want to say thank you all so much for supporting me over the last 2 seasons now. I've absolutely loved every second of it. I love vlogging every one of my experiences for you guys. The comments you guys give me are absolutely amazing. I try my best to reply to every one of you. Obviously I'm a university student, so at times it will take a little bit of time for me to reply to every one of you, but I always try my best to get back to you. Let's look at the best moments of this season.
Alright guys, I'm in Stoke now. I'm with Stoke City fan Jack. What is good guys, I am with Josh.
Alright guys, I'm back with gorgeous George.
Alright guys, so I'm with Vizzy, Burnley fan. Alright guys, I'm here with Watford fan Jacob. Alright guys, so I'm here at Goodison Park. I am with Everton vlogger Ed.
Let's go!
line, dribbles through those, about 4 Newcastle defenders, bangs it in, bolt corner. Come on, West Ham, let's get another. Go on. Ah, finish it. Yes! Yes! Come on, 4-1 full time. Blow that whistle! Keep blowing! I just wonder about whistle, I don't care, just blow the whistle! Come on, ref! Yes! This is my best spot in the world!
And there you have it, guys. Thank you so much, and I'll see you all very soon.